Last week we brought you along to Cannon Farm's Fall Festival in Denellen, Florida. And then after a lot of work, sweat, and a few tears, we revealed to you our remodeled farmhouse kitchen. This week our renovation continues, and it's all about the facade as we change these ugly mobile home doors into a thing of beauty.
So we're going to turn this into this.
I'm Tammy, and this is my husband Scott. We are two artists who, when faced with mounting health challenges, decided life's way too short. So we downsized into a home on wheels, and after 3 amazing years full-time RVing, we are once again pushing our boundaries and challenging ourselves to turn the page on a new chapter. Until further notice, we are on a mission to explore, create, and we hope to inspire you to try new things too.
Today we need to dress up 2 doors, and then we'll be done with that, get the trim up, and then we can start working on floor trim. What are you doing? Where'd you get all these new clothes from? Remember Willy Wonka? Oompa Loompas. Well, whenever you're ready, I could use a little help inside.
Scott's turning our ugly doors into beautiful wood doors. If you have these ugly doors, you might want to check out what he's doing.
This is your basic cheap hollow core manufactured house door. So we're going to turn this into this. So it's kind of like the Old West movie studios. The facade is going to look great. But if you look behind the facade, you're going to see this. The rough openings on these doorways is completely wrong. I'm ripping out the innards and rebuilding it to look really nice and be exactly the size, the rough opening size that I need. So the first thing that needs to happen is a little demolition. I like doing the rough work. The finish work I'm not real big on. I'm kind of a starter and not a finisher. So this is the magic material that we're using. It's comes in packages of 6, and they're 8 feet long, and they cost about 25 bucks for a package of 6. So do the math, but it is a lot cheaper than putting in new doors. As soon as you open the package, you can really get hit with the aromatics in this thing.
I love
Cedar.
Yeah.
In fact, this is Pacific Knotty Cedar. And that's the same stuff we're putting on the doors, so it's nice to look at. A lot of the problem in here is we're starting with a house where nothing is level or square or flush. And so every time you do something, you got to go back and kind of, you either have to work with the abnormality or you got to rip it out and completely change it. So if you're expecting perfect in here, it ain't gonna happen.
It'll be perfectly imperfect, and we're wacky anyway and a little off kilter, so that works.
Yep, just like us. We're gonna go cut these things down to size, and the cool thing is we end up with a little bit of leftover on these, and it's gonna be perfectly just enough for the doors that go back on the cabinets in the library. We're gonna do those doors too because they look terrible. Yeah, they're super thin and lightweight, not using any glue at all. Go through and pick the knottiest side because I don't know, I just like knotty. Ryobi's got a lot of really neat power tools. This thing I carried with us in the RV for 3 years because I use it so much. And all that it takes are these little 1-inch brad nails. We're locked and loaded. Yeah, there's no rocket science. They're tongue and groove, and you get the first one laid down right, and you just go from there. Okay, now we're ready to cut the frame that's going to go around the door.
We're just going with the frame around the outside, but you can like do the whole cross, barnwood, like door look or whatever. But I just asked Scott, I'm like, I really want barnwood doors. You know, I was gonna do the whole slider thing, but the configuration didn't really work with sliders. And just the slideware hardware itself was as much as all the cedar planking for these. And we have the same warm rustic wood look for a lot less money, and it works. It's really cute. So you can design these any way you want, but we're going simple and it looks good. Thank you, babe.
Some doors we're doing both sides. This is just going to be a one-sided door. Okay, so now we need to flip it over and we're going to bore out the doorknob hole.
So we went and got the cheapest kind of rustic farmhousey looking handles we could find. They were like 21 bucks each.
The conventional tool to countersink your hardware into a door is a chisel, which I probably left them all in Colorado, but I've been using the multi-tool blade and it works pretty well. Voila! So now I just need to finish shimming out the door frame. I need to frame it in with rough cedar and stain and finish.
All right, here's our finished wood accent project. So Scott covered the old nasty mantle with some cedar, and also, like we talked about, we refinished those library doors because they were peeling. It was like a laminate and they were peeling off, so we just covered them in cedar too. And the little signs above the doors, there were vent holes there that we don't need anymore because now we have air going through the whole house. But we thought it'd be fun to put like art studio, and then the guest room will be like pirates or mermaids or something cute for the grandbabies. If you've seen the inside of our RV, it's the same. We have lots of warm wood inside, so I guess we were craving a little bit of that feeling in the house. And we love it. Tell us what you think in the comments below. The ibis are out in the yard.
Ibis.
Birds. The ibis are out in the yard again.
Ibis. I thought that was the name of the squirrel. There's a squirrel that was often hanging out in that tree right out the window.
Did you name them?
And if you wave at him, he looks right at you. He'll turn and look right at you.
Really?
Make eye contact, yeah.
Sounds like you need to give them a name.
Ibis.
No, ibis is the birds.
No, ibis.
Ibis? That's gonna get really
You
confusing.
have ibis and ibis.
Okay.